My beloved child, O you who have walked through the long night without letting go of prayer, O soul that has fallen yet chosen to rise again today, these words are sent especially to you, not because you are stronger than others, nor because you are flawless, but because in your weakest moments you still whispered, "Lord, I still believe." I have seen that. I have heard every sigh that no one else could hear. I have counted each tear that fell upon your pillow in the silent night. Every cry that seemed to vanish into nothingness has in truth echoed through the courts of heaven. You thought I was silent, but my silence was never absent. It was the stillness of a potter shaping his most precious work. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, Jeremiah 2:9-11. The seasons of fire, the storms without warning, the moments you felt abandoned, none of them came to destroy you, but to refine you. I allowed the flame to touch you, but not to consume you. I let the winds rise, but not to sweep you away. You have walked through fire, and now you carry the mark of endurance, not the scar of defeat, but the seal of one who has been chosen. O you who have suffered, you thought you were nothing but ashes, yet those ashes have become the fertile soil where I plant my glory. I have watched you when no one was watching. I have heard your prayers when no one responded. In the dark, when you doubted even the light of your faith, I stood there not far away but near, right beside you. You did not know that in those painful moments you were being molded into a vessel I could use. For no gold is forged in gentle winds, and no faith matures in comfort. Remember this: you did not turn your back on me when the night fell. You chose to stay when others left. You chose to believe even when no sign appeared. That is what makes you the one I call my chosen. I do not seek perfect souls. I seek faithful ones. I do not need you to do more, only to not give up. Every time you choose love over hatred, forgiveness over bitterness, hope over despair, heaven trembles with joy, for that is the yes I treasure most. I have refined you in the furnace of affliction. I have chosen you in the crucible of silver, says the Lord, Isaiah 4:8-10. Now my child, the furnace has passed, the storm has calmed, and I, the Eternal One, proclaim a new season over your life. Not because you are ready, but because I have chosen my time. The years of endurance were not in vain. They were seeds of glory, testimony to heaven that you remained steadfast under trial. The fire did not devour you, it sanctified you. The storm did not break you, it taught you how to soar. I have seen you fight in silence, and now I speak. O favored one, arise. For your season has come. That which was delayed is now moving. What was closed is being opened. What seemed lost is being transformed into something new. You shall no longer be known by your wounds, but by your grace. No longer defined by your brokenness, but by your resurrection. And when you look back, you will understand I never left. It was in the deepest night that my light shone brightest. It was in your sorrow that my grace blazed most beautifully. You are my witness, the proof that those who remain faithful in fire shall be exalted in light. My beloved, do not mistake testing for abandonment. It is the mark of care. No craftsman refines worthless metal. Only true gold is placed in the fire. Because you are precious, I allowed the flame to touch you, not to burn but to purify, not to destroy but to unveil the hidden light within you. Every time you endured, every moment you stayed patient, every song you sang through tears, heaven recorded it. You have kept count of my tears. Are they not written in your book? Psalm 5:6-8. Not one tear of yours has been wasted. They are the sacred waters that wash your soul from the dust of the world. O soul that has walked through darkness, you did not see that while you were collapsing, I stood guard so you would not be shattered beyond repair. I saw you trembling in the storm, yet I also saw the flicker of light still burning within you, the flame of faithfulness I myself had kindled. It was for that very flame that I shielded you from being swallowed by darkness. When you thought you were forgotten, I was engraving your name upon the palms of my hands, Isaiah 49:16. When you thought your prayers vanished into emptiness, I was breathing my spirit into that silence to create new life. Do not fear the days when you cannot hear my voice. Do not doubt the seasons when you cannot feel my presence. I am there like a seed buried in the earth, silent but growing. You thought I had withdrawn, yet in that distance I was drawing you closer. I have not left. I have been strengthening your wings in the quiet so that one day you might ride the very winds that once broke you. And when you step out of the furnace, you will understand why I allowed it. Endurance has shaped in you a depth no lesson could teach. Pain has made your heart wiser, your prayers truer, and your love stronger. Just as Joseph was sold into slavery only to become the savior of his people, so you are being prepared for a glory you cannot yet comprehend. What man intended for harm, God has turned for good. Genesis 5:0-20. You were chosen not merely to survive, but to prove that grace is stronger than wounds and hope greater than despair. I have etched your story into the history of grace. Where the world saw pain, I saw purpose. Where others saw failure, I saw the foundation of victory. When all turned away, I drew near. You have not been forgotten. You are being prepared for a vision greater than yourself, my beloved child. Now that the storm has passed and the dust has settled, I declare arise, not by your own strength, but by the power of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. 1 Peter 2:9. You are no longer defined by the ashes that once covered you, but by the breath of new life I am breathing into you now. What you thought was an ending was only the preparation for a radiant beginning. Do not mourn what has been broken, for in those very ashes I am kindling the fire of resurrection. Like a phoenix rising from the ruins, your soul is being reborn, not fragile but fierce, not confused but full of divine vision. Lift your head. The years of testing were not wasted. They were the symphony I composed to prepare you for the next movement. Every scar is a note in the song of triumph I am about to play through your life. Do not despise the long seasons of silence. They were the foundation for the explosion of glory to come. I did not lead you into the desert to let you die in the dust, but to teach you how to find streams beneath dry ground. It was in the wilderness that I whispered truths only lovers can hear. It was in solitude that I rewrote your identity. It was in the quiet that I taught you to recognize my voice among 1,000 others. For not everyone is chosen to hear the voice of heaven. Not everyone is called to bear light into the darkness, but you have been chosen for this. O faithful one, now is the moment for you to rise from the ashes, not merely to live, but to live for me. I am not calling you back to what once was, but forward into a season of revival. A new door has opened, and what lies behind you is but an old garment you no longer need to wear. Behold, I am doing a new thing. It is springing forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. You have no reason to fear the unknown, for I have gone before you. You have no need to prove your worth, for I have already purchased you with the blood of the Lamb. You have no need to seek approval, for my gaze has already rested upon you. Let the world call you foolish, I call you commissioned. Let them call you a dreamer. I say you are a seer of what is to come. Let them walk away. I will send to you those who belong to the vision within you. Stand firm, for the season of sowing in tears has ended, and the season of reaping in songs of joy has begun. You shall not only be restored, you shall become an instrument of restoration. I will use you to lift others up. From the ashes of your own ruin, I will ignite a holy fire to warm frozen hearts. From your brokenness, I will pour forth healing oil upon the wounds of others. From the very place where you thought all was lost, I will plant a new vineyard, where the fruits of grace will bloom, never fading. You are no longer merely a survivor. You are living proof that grace is real, that my promises never lie. Step forth, O chosen one, for heaven is opening over you. And when light bursts forth in the night, the world will know that God still moves through the faithful. My beloved, when the final winds of the old season have died, and the last tear has fallen to the ground, I proclaim, now the new season has begun. Not an ordinary one, but a season of transformation, where your soul is restored, your vision reborn, and the old gives way for the new to emerge. I did not create your life to end in ruins. I called you to pass through the ruins into glory. Everything you have lost, every dream you thought had faded, every prayer once cried in despair, each has become the foundation for what is coming, for I am the God of restoration. I do not simply return what was lost. I make all things new in ways that leave both heaven and hell astonished. This new season does not come with thunder, but with the gentle breath of the Spirit. You need not chase loud signs, simply quiet your heart, and you will sense me stirring the very air around you. In the stillness I am working. In the silence I am creating. The door you once knocked on in vain is now opening effortlessly. Those who once misunderstood you will begin to recognize the imprint of my hand upon your life. What was delayed will no longer be withheld. You are stepping into Kairos, the appointed time where your timeline converges with heaven's. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. You have walked through the time of fire, now you enter the time of light. O faithful one, you do not realize that every time you chose faith in the dark, you were writing your own future with the ink of belief. Every tear you shed did not vanish, it became the stream watering the seeds I planted within you. Do not fear change, for I am the one who authors the seasons. The tree does not know it is about to bloom until the sun warms its branches. Likewise, your soul has not yet realized that my light is already shining upon it. Open your eyes, beloved, for the sky is changing color. The rains I now send are no longer rains of testing, but rains of blessing. The winds that blow are no longer storms, but winds of direction. Everything around you is moving not in chaos, but in divine order. You have grown accustomed to battle, but in this season, I am not calling you to fight. I am calling you to receive. You have learned to stand your ground. Now I call you to rest. You once believed grace must be earned, but I say grace is a gift. You once thought blessing came through labor, but blessing flows through surrender. The last season taught you endurance. This one will teach you blossoming. The last season made you stand firm against the wind. This one will make you fragrant in the light. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 4:3-19. You do not need to create miracles. You need only to recognize that they are already unfolding around you. I know there were nights you looked to the heavens and cried, Lord, when to? But understand, my delay is not denial. It is preparation. Everything I do moves in its appointed time. I am never late, nor am I early. You prayed for open doors, yet I knew that if I opened them too soon, the winds of the world would carry you away. So I held them closed, not to punish, but to protect. And now, as the moment ripens, the doors will open on their own, not by your striving, but by my power, not by your knocking, but because I am placing the key in your hand. The doors you thought sealed forever will open softly like dew descending at dawn. Step in without hesitation, without fear, for you are not walking alone, my beloved child. The transformation I am bringing is not merely about changing circumstances, it is about changing you. I am reshaping your heart, healing old wounds, renewing your mind, so that you may carry my vision. This is no longer a season of survival, it is a season of mission. No longer a time of striving to stay afloat, but a time to shine. I do not only wish to bless you, I wish to make you a vessel of blessing. You will speak words that bring life. You will touch others with the comfort you yourself have received. You will become living proof that grace is stronger than failure, that hope is greater than sorrow, and that my love can turn every ash into gold. Remember, you need not fear the new, for the new always carries the sacred within it. You once feared losing control, but true safety lies in surrendering control into my hands. You feared that letting go would mean losing everything, yet I declare, only when you release what you cling to can I place in your hands what is better. You clung to the old afraid there was nothing else, but I am bringing a season of such abundance that you will wonder how you ever settled for less. Do not keep the old jars, for the new oil, for what I am about to pour out will overflow every old form. This is your season of renewal. Step forward, beloved, for heaven itself is moving with you. And as you walk in the light of this season, you will perceive something profound. I have never left you. I myself sheltered you in the darkness, so that now you might see the light clearly. I myself permitted your breaking, so that now you might taste true wholeness. I myself kept your soul from despair, even when you thought you had lost everything. And now I declare, behold, all things are made new. You no longer have to live in the memory of what has passed. You no longer have to define yourself by former failures. You are stepping into your true identity, the redeemed one, the chosen one, the bearer of light. O one beloved by me, do not fear when you cannot understand all that is unfolding. True transformation always begins in the fog. As a seed must split in darkness before it reaches the light, so your soul is being opened in the quiet. Let me finish my work. Do not resist what I am changing, even when it feels unfamiliar. For everything I do is for your eternal good. This season will not resemble the last, and that is good. You will find yourself acting with a wisdom you never studied, speaking words you never planned, and walking in favor you never earned. For I am making you new, from the way you see, to the way you speak, to the way you believe. And then you will understand transformation is not an ending but a beginning. Vision is not a prize but a calling. What I give is not for you to possess but to share. You are called not to stand out but to reflect. I have given you eyes to see beyond limits, ears to catch the summons of eternity, and a heart to carry the cadence of heaven. Now you are a witness of renewal. And as a river cannot run backward to its old source, your soul cannot return to the former season. You have crossed the line. You have entered my season. Lift up your head, for dawn has come. Open your heart, for the vision is rising. Be at rest, for my hand is at work in every detail of your life. You are standing in the midst of transformation, not random change, but the deliberate arrangement of the Creator. This season will be like no other you have known, because it does not proceed from you, it proceeds from me. And when you look back, you will exclaim with Job, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." Job 4:2-5. This is your season, O chosen one, the season of vision awakened, of grace multiplied, of renewal that cannot be reversed. And I, the Lord your God, stand in the midst of it, smiling, for my work in you has come to its fullness. My beloved, when I begin to unveil the vision of the new season, the first thing I touch is not the world around you, but the eyes within you, for no one enters the new with an old gaze. Vision is not a picture of an external future. It is an inner light kindled by heaven's hand. Your spiritual sight must be cleansed of the dust of disappointment, fear, and old memories, so that you may behold what fleshly eyes cannot see. You asked me to change your circumstances, but I chose first to change your heart. For when the heart opens, the world itself is transformed. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is sound, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:2-2. You did not notice that every time you cried out in tears, I began to unveil the vision little by little. Every sigh of your soul stirred the heavens. Every prayer that seemed swallowed by silence became the undersong of the sacred symphony I am composing upon your life. Vision does not arrive with thunder, but with breath, not with a whirlwind, but with a gentle breeze. When I speak, I do not always shake mountains. Sometimes I only whisper to your heart. That is why you do not hear with your ears, but with your spirit. This call does not coerce, it invites. It does not incite fear, it bows the soul. When you feel your heart suddenly tremble without knowing why, it is I knocking at the door. O one I have chosen. Heaven's vision is not like human dreams. It is born not of ambition, but of purpose. It is not drawn by hand, but engraved upon the soul. Before you were formed in the womb, I placed within you a sacred seed, a promise yet unfinished. Every trial you have endured was the process by which that seed would germinate. Every tear you shed watered the seed of vision. Each time you chose to believe, while everything collapsed, the roots drove deeper into the soil of faith. And now that seed is breaking forth. Do you hear it? It is the sound of new life. It is the sound of vision growing within you, quiet, yet mighty. Do not fear when you cannot make sense of it all. Faith always walks ahead of understanding. You do not need to see the whole road. You need only follow the light I give you step by step. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. When you do not know which way to turn, pause and listen to me. When you feel uncertain, close your eyes and notice the peace. For peace is the language of vision. If something drags you into fear, it is not from me. If something brings peace even in the storm, that is the sign I am with you. Let my peace be your compass. Vision is not a destination, but a pilgrimage of transformation. You will not enter the vision in a single day, but day by day, step by step, breath by breath. Each time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you walk deeper into the vision. Each time you choose love over resentment, you draw nearer to the promise. Each time you choose faith over fear, you touch what I have ordained. Believe that nothing in your past is wasted. Every wound that once bled will become a gate through which light enters. Every dark season will become a launch pad for glory. When I unveil vision, I do not discard the old. I transfigure it into the foundation of the new. O soul being awakened, heaven is calling not with human words, but with movement in the spirit. I am summoning you back to your first purpose, the primal call you heard before the world shaped you with fear. The world may assign you labels, but heaven calls you by your true name. That name is not a sound, it is an essence. When I speak your name, the heavens respond. Do you not know that even angels fall silent when I utter it? For within that name lie the history of grace, the journey of trial, and the promise of glory. Heaven's call does not come to impose, but to awaken. It does not force you to do, it stirs you to be. It does not burden, it brings relief. When you hear it, you will feel a holy paradox, fear and longing at once. Fear because you know it will require change. Longing because your soul recognizes what it was born to do. It is a call that cannot be quenched. It sounds in silence, in dreams, in the most ordinary moments. It sounds when you see someone who needs comfort, when a song softens your heart, when a sunset makes you ache to live fully. And when you answer that call, all the heavens will move. Sacred synchronicity will begin to unfold around you. The right people will arrive at the right time. The right doors will open at the appointed hour. The resources you need will appear by themselves, not because you hunted them down, but because I prepared them. When you say yes, I will place in your heart the courage to step, the wisdom to discern, and the humility to remain unproud. I will guard the vision with my unseen hand. No power can steal what I have sealed. My beloved vision always carries responsibility. It is never given to exalt you, but to reveal me. It is not meant to bring you praise, but to bring my name glory. Therefore, walk gently amid glory. Move slowly among the songs of praise. Keep your heart tender in the midst of success. For vision is sustained not by talent, but by humility. not by planning but by prayer, not by strength but by surrender. Let love be your compass, for wherever love is absent, vision withers in dryness. Let everything you do be born of mercy. Let every plan you build rest on the foundation of faith. Let every success become a window for grace to shine through. For true glory is not found in applause, but in helping others see me through your life. When you smile amid adversity, the world will see my light. When you love amid betrayal, the world will see my heart. When you believe amid uncertainty, the world will know who I am. And as you walk in this vision, you will realize you no longer need to prove anything. You do not need to argue, for favor itself will speak on your behalf. You do not need to strive, for I have already gone before you. You do not need to cling to what is yours, for what I give no one can take. You need not fear. The new for the new always carries my breath. Simply keep your heart pure, so when I speak you hear. Keep your hands open, so when I give you receive. Keep your steps light, so when I lead you follow. Step out of your comfort zone. Vision does not bloom in convenience. Dare to go where only faith can walk. Dare to believe in what your eyes have not seen. Dare to obey before you understand. For only when you step out will you see me truly act. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 1:1. You will be astonished to discover that what once frightened you was the very path leading to your blessing. And now I declare, the vision has opened. Respond not with a plan, but with a heart. Say, Lord, here I am. And when you speak, heaven will move. Angels will carry my word into reality. Everything will begin to align with the promise. What was bound will be lost. What was delayed will be restored. For your yes carries weight in eternity. Child, you are not merely a bearer of vision. You are living proof that heaven still speaks to humanity. And the world will look at you and know that I am real, that I still speak, that I still move, and that I still entrust vision to those who dare to believe. My beloved child, when the door of vision opens, I do not call you merely to see, but to enter. Vision is not given to be admired, but to be lived. The things I reveal are not paintings to be hung in memory, but roads for you to walk. Do not stop at understanding, step into obedience. For in my kingdom, faith truly lives only when it moves. Faith without works is dead. James 2:6. And as you walk, the vision will become tangible, not just a promise, but breath itself, the very rhythm of your soul. Do not think that walking in vision means the path will always be smooth. The truth is, I will still test your heart, but no longer to see if you are strong enough, rather to prove that my strength in you is real. Each challenge will no longer come to break you, but to teach you how to fly. Every delay will not discourage, but refine your alignment. For in this season you are no longer merely a learner, you are one who is sent. I am shaping your wings to maturity so that you may soar upon the very winds that once made you tremble. To live the vision is to walk not by sight but by faith. The natural eye sees emptiness. The spiritual eye sees a path. The world says, wait until you see to believe. But I declare, believe, and you shall see. John 1:140. Every step you take declares your trust in the one who never changes, and that trust becomes the force that sets vision in motion. Vision does not move by itself. It moves through you, through your obedience, prayer, humility, and faithfulness. When I tell you to go, do not hesitate out of fear of being wrong. Go, and if a turn is not my way, I will redirect you. For what I seek is not perfection, but willingness. Remember, you cannot lose your way when you walk with me, for I am the way. John 1:4-6. If you move, I will guide. If you pause, I will speak. If you stumble, I will lift you up. Vision does not belong to the strong, but to those who lean on me. My beloved, I know there will be days when you grow weary. Vision can feel heavy, for it carries glory. But never forget, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. When you begin to feel the vision weighing you down, it is a sign you are trying to carry it alone. Stop, breathe, and let me carry it with you. For true vision never exhausts the faithful. It refreshes the soul. It does not drain, it fills. It does not bind, it frees. When you walk in rhythm with me, vision becomes like a river. You do not swim against it. You simply flow with the current of my spirit. In this journey, you will discover that the truest miracles are not rare wonders, but my presence within the ordinary. When you forgive, you are performing a miracle. When you keep your heart pure in a corrupt world, you are performing a miracle. When you choose prayer over complaint, you are moving the vision forward. I do not measure faithfulness by scale, but by motive. It is not the grand act that moves me, it is the sincere heart. So walk on, child of vision. The heavens are watching, and grace is running with you. And you will see the vision will begin to bear fruit. Those who once dismissed you will behold the favor resting upon you. Doors that once closed will open of their own accord. What once seemed impossible will become possible. Yet, my child, when glory arrives, remember this. Never let the light I give cause you to forget the one who gave it. Do not allow success to muffle my voice, nor applause to drown out my whisper. For if vision was born from surrender, it can live only through surrender. My beloved one, when I placed the vision within you, I also sealed it with the promise that I would never leave you. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Isaiah 4:3-2. There will be days when the vision is tested by fire, not to destroy it, but to prove it genuine. Everything true must be refined. Let that fire purify your motives. Let it burn away ambition, fear, and pride, until only love and faithfulness remain. From that purity, the vision will shine without fading. To walk in vision is also to learn the art of silence. There are things I reveal to you that I do not yet wish you to speak. Learn to hold the sacred close, as Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. Luke 2:1-9. Not every revelation must be proclaimed. Some must be incubated in prayer. When you learn to keep, you learn at birth. Promises held in silence will bloom in their appointed time. Know this, the vision is not only for you to carry, but for you to transmit. Every person you touch will receive a spark. Every word you speak in, my spirit becomes a seed sown in another's heart. I have not called you to build a temple for yourself, but to become a living stone in my holy dwelling. As you walk in vision, you are not only fulfilling your own destiny, you are fitting into the grand mosaic of my kingdom. And when all the pieces align, you will see that no obedience was ever wasted and no sacrifice forgotten. Do not fear what lies ahead, for I have gone before you. Do not look back, for the past is complete. Do not look sideways, for your path is unique. Fix your eyes on me, the author and perfecter of faith. Hebrews 1:2-2. Keep your gaze steady, and you will not stray. Keep your trust firm, and you will not fall. Keep your love alive, and your soul will not dry up. And as you keep the flame burning, the vision will continue to shine, illuminating the world with an unfading glory. When the day of fulfillment comes, you will stand in the midst of a completed vision and realize that every sorrow, every waiting, every tear, every long night was worth it all. For out of the soil of trial, the flower of glory has bloomed. Out of the ashes of pain, the dawn of resurrection has risen. And from your very soul, I will cause rivers of living water to flow, rivers that will touch generations unto eternity. My beloved, listen carefully, for this is a divine moment. This is not a season of testing nor of waiting, it is the season of restoration. This is the hour when I, the Lord your God, full of mercy, will renew all that you thought was lost and repay in abundance the years devoured by the locust, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar of sorrow. Joel 2:2-5. I will not merely return what was taken, I will add more. I will not only heal, I will recreate. I will not only restore, I will glorify. For I never return what was lost in the same form. I give back something better, deeper, stronger, purer, and holier. You have passed through fire and through water, and I have brought you into a place of abundance. Psalm 6:6-1-2. Now you carry no scent of smoke, no dust of battle. You carry the fragrance of victory, the anointing oil, the aroma of a soul washed by tears and steeped in grace. Look back, my child. What once was a wound is now a mark of miracle. What once was a wall is now a doorway. What once was death is now in bloom. You thought I was silent, but I was working. You thought you were abandoned, but I was rewriting your story. You thought everything had collapsed, but in that very ruin I laid a new cornerstone. This is the season when I will restore your honor. There were those who misunderstood you, words that wounded you, and dreams buried beneath disappointment. But, O faithful one, I have seen it all, and now I will repay. Instead of your shame, you shall receive a double portion. Instead of dishonor, you shall rejoice in your inheritance. Isaiah 6:1-7. My restoration is not mere comfort. It is vindication, the declaration of divine justice. I will cause those who once mocked you to witness my favor upon you, not to shame them, but that they may know that I, the Lord, am real. O chosen one, I am restoring not only what you had, but who you are. For before I restore what is outward, I restore the soul within. There are parts of you that have grown weary, broken, or closed off in fear of being hurt again. But now I am entering those hidden rooms of your heart, the ones untouched by light, to open every door. I am healing memories, erasing the images that made you tremble, cleansing every shard of pain you could not name. I will teach you to love again, believe again, hope again, and truly smile again. Not because everything is perfect, but because you will see that I myself am your perfection. Remember, restoration is not about getting back. It is about becoming. When I restore you, I do not recreate the old shape. I sculpt a new being. You will not return as you were. You will rise stronger, deeper, and closer to me than ever before. I do not take you back to where you started. I lift you to where you belong. Every loss you once mourned will fade into the river of grace. For I have never let a single tear fall without purpose. My favor is pouring upon you like the early rain and the latter rain together. Joel 2:2-3. This is an outpouring the world cannot stop, and you cannot contain. Every barren place in your life will bloom again. Every locked gate will swing open. Strength will return to your body. Joy will return to your spirit. Peace will fill your home, and light will return to your eyes. I am renewing you cell by cell with the breath of life. Soon you will wake one morning and feel it tangibly, a new freshness, as if you have been born again, for indeed you are being reborn. I am restoring the communion between you and me. No more distance, no more doubt, no more walls. You will hear me more clearly, feel me more deeply, and know that I am nearer than ever. When you speak, I listen. When you breathe, I understand. When you are silent, I am still there. Our relationship will no longer rest on fear but on love, no longer on duty but on intimacy. You will no longer plead for acceptance. You have been loved since before you knew how to love. And I am not restoring you only for yourself, but to make you an instrument of restoration for others. I will turn your pain into healing oil. You will speak to the broken with the voice of one who has been redeemed. You will embrace the weary with arms once lifted from despair. You will pray with a power that only those who have wept through the night can understand. Everything you have endured will become the tool through which I rescue others. That is how I turn ashes into glory, not merely by healing, but by using. I will send you where you never thought you'd go to meet those already chosen to be touched through you. You need not over-prepare. I will place my words in your mouth. You need not be flawless. I will perfect my work through you. You need only carry a soft heart and willing hands. For this time I do not seek talent, I seek surrender. I do not seek perfection, I seek humility. I do not seek echoing voices. I seek a single, simple yes. My beloved child, the restoration I am working on will not be confined to you alone. It will spread to your family, your community, and your generation. I will restore what the enemy stole not only from your hands but from your lineage. There are promises that were once suspended, graces once dammed up, but now the flow is returning. Through your life, I will make your loved ones come to know me. I will soften hardened hearts, mend fractured relationships, and breathe life into dreams your whole family buried long ago. When favor pours down, you will understand that I have forgotten not a single prayer. Not one of your cries was lost to the wind. Every tear you offered I have kept in my vial. Every petition you spoke about I have recorded in my book. Now I am opening that book and declaring, the time has come. It is the time for restoration, for recompense, for fullness, for rebirth. The things you waited for the longest will blossom the quickest. What you thought was gone forever will return in a better form. Prepare not only to receive, but to contain, for what I am about to do exceeds imagination. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. I will grant you a joy the world cannot steal, a peace no storm can shake, a steadiness no circumstance can break, and a wisdom beyond your years and experience. You will walk the earth as one restored, light upon your brow, kindness within your heart, and holy boldness in your stride. As you look around, you will see what once was barren now grows lush. What once was silent now sings. What once lay in ruins now rises. Not by your strength, but by my hand. Not by merit, but by grace. Not because you did enough, but because I loved enough. That love is the source, the current, the power that revives all that died. Stand firm in this season of restoration. Be neither hasty nor afraid nor doubtful. Let grace flow naturally like a river finding its way to the sea. Let me work, for I know how to restore better than anyone. When I am finished, you will not merely receive back, you will be renewed so deeply that even you will scarcely recognize yourself. Not because you have become someone else, but because you have become the very person I envisioned from before, the foundations of the world. My beloved, when I restore you, that is not an ending, but the beginning of a new phase, the phase of the flow of grace. Grace does not come only to comfort you. It is meant to operate through you. It does not stop at healing you. It spreads forth to heal others. All that you have lived, both tears and wounds, now becomes the underground spring of grace. As a river cannot hoard water for itself, grace cannot be imprisoned within a grateful soul. It must pour out, for only as it flows does it truly live. Picture your soul as a vessel once shattered. You saw its cracks and felt ashamed, but I saw the very places where light could pass through. I have mended you not with the cement of striving, but with the pure gold of mercy. I have not hidden the cracks. I have honored them, for through them my grace is displayed. Those who once saw you broken will now see you radiant, and they will know this is not your accomplishment but my power. For grace not only heals, it transforms what was wounded into an instrument of glory. Now I fill you not to be stored but to overflow. You were not made to be a pond but a river. Pond water stagnates and dwindles. River water flows and purifies itself. So too your soul will be renewed each day if you let grace run outward through love, kindness, and forgiveness. You have received freely. Therefore give freely, Matthew 1:08. When you give, I will pour more. When you share, I will multiply. When you stretch out your hands, I will fill them to overflowing. This is the season of enlarging the borders of blessing. I do not pour grace so you may keep peace for yourself, but that you might become an instrument of peace. I will use you like a river that irrigates parched fields, like the first rain that softens cracked ground. Where your feet tread, the atmosphere will change. Where you speak, words of love healing will take root. You need not shout or appear strong. Simply be present in peace. For the peace you carry does not arise from outward calm, but from my indwelling. That very presence will dissolve darkness as light dissolves mist. Do not let fear dam the flow. Grace is not a reward for the perfect, but a river for the thirsty. When you feel weak, remember, grace is born precisely in lack. When you are tired, let me breathe new life into you. When you feel useless, remember that I chose you not for your ability, but for your heart. Grace needs no foundation to begin, it is the foundation. And I desire you to live, speak love, and forgive upon that foundation. I am widening the borders of your influence, not that you might stand out, but that I might be revealed. You will find yourself going where you never imagined, speaking to people you have never met, doing things beyond natural capacity. Do not fear, for you are not going alone. I will go before you, opening gates and straightening paths. I will show you what to say, when to be silent, where to touch, and when to stop. For it is not you acting, it is I acting through you. Child, as grace expands, keep your heart humble, for humility is the conduit that keeps grace flowing. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. The more you are given, the lower you must bow. The higher you are lifted, the deeper you must kneel. Never forget, rivers flow downward, not up. They seek the low places to spread. If you choose the low road, you will always carry living water. My child, I will make the grace within you visible. When others look at your life, they will be unable to explain why you remain peaceful in the storm, gentle in hurt, and luminous in the night. They will ask, "How do you do it?" And you will answer, "Not I, but Christ in me." That is the moment grace is revealed. That is when my name is glorified. Grace will spread through every small act, through the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you treat others. When you help the weak, you open a channel for me to flow. When you are patient with a hard heart, you sow a seed of heaven. When you choose forgiveness over retaliation, you work a miracle that makes angels sing. You will not always see results at once, but I assure you, nothing done in love is ever in vain. O one who is sent, grace will widen not only in reach, but in depth. You will find yourself loving more deeply, understanding more fully, forgiving more swiftly. You will feel your heart grow to the rhythm of mine. And precisely, when you love without expecting return, you will learn what grace truly is. Grace is not a feeling. It is the decision to love when reason says you cannot. It is the supernatural power shaping you into my likeness day by day. I will extend blessing not only to you, but through you to an entire generation. You will see your descendants wrapped in grace. I will guard your children from the sword of the world. I will grant them wisdom beyond their years, tender hearts, and steadfast faith. I will open doors of opportunity for them as a reward for your faithfulness. For grace does not end with a single lifetime, it flows through generations. Your blessings today will become the foundation of your children's tomorrow. Let my grace soak into every corner of your life. Let it flow through your words, thoughts, choices, and dreams. When you pray, let grace lead instead of fear. When you work, let grace set the pace instead of anxiety. When you love others, let grace be the root rather than emotion. For grace is not merely what I give, it is me and you. As this river of grace continues to widen, you will witness wonders. Hearts once closed will open. Places once desolate will spring to life. Relationships once shattered will be repaired. You will watch restoration ripple outward like circles on a pond after a single drop. One small act in the Spirit can set off waves that do not cease, passing from person to person, generation to generation. O Anointed One, as I enlarge your blessing, do not fear the scale. Remain faithful in every small detail. Tend the souls I send you, like a gardener tends each tender shoot. Do not count numbers, cultivate depth. Do not chase noise, seek fruitfulness. For in my kingdom, glory is not in the crowd, but in the heart that truly loves. And now I declare, the river of grace has begun to flow. It will not cease, it will widen. It will move beyond the borders of time and space. It will touch lands you have never seen, souls you have never met. And wherever this river flows, it will leave traces of life, joy, and freedom. My beloved child, as the final shadow of night retreats, a new dawn rises not only in the sky but within your very soul. This is no ordinary light. It is resurrection light, light born from glory, light carrying my breath. All that you have endured is now like dew, evaporating at the appearance of the Sun of Righteousness, Malachi 4:2. O you who have walked through tears, now you shall walk in songs. O you who have sifted ashes through trembling hands, now you shall wear the crown of joy. O you who once hid in darkness, now you will emerge with the radiance of morning upon you. I promised you that night would not last forever, and now you are living proof of that promise. Your dawn did not break suddenly. It began with a faint gleam, then grew brighter, then filled the horizon. In the same way, I am making all things new, one step at a time. Everything is growing brighter. What was once hidden is now being revealed. What was forgotten is being restored. There is no darkness thick enough to extinguish my light, for I have spoken, and when I speak, light appears. Let there be light, and there was light. Genesis 1:3. This is the season of joy restored. The joy the world once stole is no longer a memory, but a living reality, not the fleeting joy of man, but the eternal joy of my presence. In your presence there is fullness of joy. Psalm 16:1-1. You will laugh again, not because life is perfect, but because you know I am perfect. You will sing again, not because all is easy, but because you know I am composing the rhythm of your days. Your joy will no longer depend on circumstance, but will rest on the one who never changes. I am washing away the residue of sorrow that clung to you for too long. I am drying the tears that stained your pillow. I am exchanging your mourning garments for robes of celebration. I am placing on your head the crown of glory that only the faithful may wear, and I speak, enough, my child, enough of tears, enough of pain, enough of fear. Now is the time of light, of peace, of perfect joy. This is the hour I establish you in glory. Everything before was preparation. The years of testing were not wasted, they built in you the foundation strong enough to carry the weight of glory. Now I am setting you as a pillar in my temple, unshakable and steadfast. Revelation 3:1-2. I do not build glory upon sand, but upon rock, and you are the stone refined through fire, water, and wind. Every crack upon you, every carving within your soul has become a window for my light to shine through. I do not merely make you stand, I make you stand firm. Not because you are strong, but because you have learned to lean on me. Not because you are in control, but because you have surrendered. Not because you have every answer, but because you trust the keeper of every promise. This is the foundation that cannot be shaken. Though winds blow and storms arise, you will not fall, for your roots no longer rest in the soil of earth, but in the soil of eternity. You will discover that my glory does not arrive like a fleeting firework, but like a sunrise, slow, certain, unstoppable. The radiance of glory will shine into every area of your life. In your work there will be order. In your family there will be peace. In your mind there will be stillness. In your words there will be power. In your steps there will be assurance. And upon your face will shine the light of the one who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. 1 Peter 2:9. As I establish you, I also give you a new authority not to dominate but to serve in the power of the Spirit. You will no longer speak from intellect but from revelation. You will no longer act from ambition but from compassion. You will no longer pray only for yourself, but intercede for nations. I will place in you my burden, not a burden that exhausts, but the weight of love, the yearning to see the world healed. You will know that you were born for such a time as this. You are no longer merely the one tested, you are the one sent. O soul restored, true joy is not the absence of pain, it is the awareness that I am within it. True joy does not arise from comfort but from understanding that every moment carries purpose. True joy needs no reason, for I am the reason. When you realize that I am enough, lack loses its power. When you understand that my love is your source, the world's approval loses its hold. When you know that I chose you, before time began, anxiety about tomorrow fades away. I desire you to live in steady joy and lasting peace, not fleeting emotion. My peace is unlike the world's. It requires no condition, no guarantee, no explanation. It is the unshakable ground on which you stand, though the earth quakes and the skies shift. When the world panics, you will rest. When others despair, you will smile. When darkness falls, you will burn like a torch in the night. My child, I am bringing you into satisfaction within glory. No more restless longing, no more chasing shadows, no more striving for empty things. You will dwell in rest not because you have stopped moving, but because you have found your place. When a soul is rightly aligned, it no longer resists. It flows with my rhythm. You will learn to live in fullness not because you possess everything, but because you know everything rests in my hands. And the greatest wonder of all, you will not merely live in glory, but become glory. Your light will not be borrowed. It will be the reflection of the infinite source within you. Now I proclaim, my child, rise. Look toward the east, see the dawn unfolding. Feel the warmth of the new day. Know that all things old have passed, and all things new are emerging. Believe that you were never meant to live in memory, but to write the next chapter of grace. Be ready, for I will make you a living testimony of my faithfulness. Beloved, I saw you in the night, and now I see you in the light. I heard your weeping, now I hear your singing. I watched you bow low, now I see you standing tall. And I declare, this is the one I have chosen, the one I have redeemed, the one I have loved. This one shall shine like the stars forever and ever. Daniel 1, 2, 3. My beloved child, I know you are ready, not ready to prove, but ready to be. Ready to live out what I planted in you from the beginning. Ascending is not a reward, it is a continuation. It comes to a soul quiet enough to listen, still enough to believe, humble enough to obey. I have watched you through lonely seasons and silent nights, through the moments you thought you were abandoned, through the times you almost gave up because you saw no way forward. But now you have come out of that valley with a new gaze, not the look of one escaping darkness, but of one who knows how to carry light into it. I send you not because I need more servants, but because you have understood the true meaning of service. You bowed low in moments no one saw, forgave when anger would have been justified, and kept silent when it would have been easy to defend yourself. In these small things I saw you mature. A commissioning begins in faithfulness, not in crowded halls, but in hidden rooms where you and I met in tears. Now you will go not to do something great for me, but to live with me in the midst of this world. You will find that the world to which I send you is not always gentle. It will question what you believe, mock how you live, and many will not open their hearts to the light. Yet you are not called to persuade, you are called to be present. I do not need you to prove that I am real. I need you so that I may be seen through your life. When you choose patience over anger, listening over reacting, love over judgment, you are preaching without words. Your presence, if you keep it in peace, will speak louder than any sermon. I do not send you so that you may become someone else, but so that you may return to your truest self, the one made in my image. This sending does not add burden, it makes you lighter, for you will learn to let me act through you instead of doing everything yourself. Remember, there is no commissioning without my companionship. I have never called anyone and left them to walk alone. When Moses trembled before the burning bush, I said, I will be with you. When Jeremiah feared his youth, I touched his lips and said, I have put my words in your mouth. When Peter despaired, I looked at him with eyes full of mercy. So it is with you. I do not send by pressure, but by love. I walk with you every step, every day. There will be days you do not see me as clearly as before. Do not think I am absent. As a teacher is silent during the test, I am allowing you to practice what you have learned. You will choose between fear and trust, silence and speaking safety and faithfulness. When that moment comes, remember the sending is not about where you go, but how you go. Every small act, every brief encounter, every honest word, each is part of the journey. Do not seek recognition, for this mission is not measured by the eyes of others. Your affirmation was given before you were born, when I inscribed your name in eternity. You need not prove, compare, or chase anyone. Simply live faithful to my rhythm, even when it moves slower than you wish. The world will urge you to hurry, to succeed, to stand out. But my kingdom grows in silence, like the seed sprouting beneath the soil, like leaven, raising the whole loaf, like breath unseen that sustains the body. As you go, you will face places you think you cannot endure, people you find hard to love, and circumstances you cannot understand. There my grace will become most real. You will not see your own strength, but you will see my faithfulness. You will not see the path, but you will feel my hand steadying your steps. When you are exhausted, stop. Do not push beyond grace. I do not require you to be endlessly resilient. I ask you to be honest. Tell me when you are tired. Do not hide from me. Let me lift you, for in the very moments you feel you cannot continue, I will show myself strong. I know you fear failure, but hear me, failure does not cancel a calling. It deepens your knowledge of me. At times you will do the wrong thing, say the wrong word, react the wrong way, and want to give up. I will not give up on you. I do not send the perfect. I send those who know how to return. Your weakness does not reduce your worth, it increases your need for me. And that very need will keep you genuine in a world of performance. Your mission is not to conquer, but to serve. Not to impress, but to impart life. Not to prove that I am great, but to reveal that I am near. Do everything with compassion. When you see someone in pain, do not only pray from a distance, draw near, listen, take their hand. When you meet someone who is lost, do not merely explain, walk with them a while. Do not fear being hurt, for true love always carries a measure of pain, but it is the pain of loving, not of losing. I send you as a bearer of peace, not the counterfeit peace of avoidance, but the peace proven in storms. This peace does not arise because everything is smooth, but because whatever happens, I am here. Be the one who carries that peace. Let the space you enter grow lighter. Let those who sit beside you feel comfort. Let everyone who meets you sense that they can begin again. Few words are needed, only a presence saturated with love. If one day you feel forgotten, no one remembering your work, no one acknowledging your sacrifices, know that I see. No act of love is too small for my attention. No prayer is too faint for my ear. No tear is without purpose. All that you offer I keep, like fragrance rising in the sanctuary. Go without fear. Go with a humble heart and open hands. Let me be the strength in every step. Let love, not worry, lead the way. Go and live not as someone with a task to prove, but as someone deeply loved. In the end, the only thing I ask of the one I send is that they know I am still everything. My beloved, there is a particular stillness when the one who is sent takes the first steps, Not the silence of fear, but the awareness that each step now carries something larger than oneself. You no longer live for yourself alone. Each day, each morning, you continue in the story I am writing. You will not always feel strong, and that is all right. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the choice to walk while afraid, believing I am there. Do not think I require you to shine every day. There are days I only want you to stand still, take a deep breath, and know you are still in my arms. The one who is sent does not walk by certainty, but by trust. The road ahead will often be dim, and in that dimness, true faith is born. I am not only at the destination, I am at every step. Do not hurry to map the entire plan. I do not desire you to become the one who fully understands, but the one who fully believes. Let every morning be a new yes every day. Another whisper, Lord, today I still go. That alone is enough to move heaven. There will be days you walk in joy, and days you walk under a weight. Sometimes you will feel grace overflow. At other times your heart will feel dry, your prayer filled only with silence. Do not fear that silence. In it the breath of the Spirit still moves. You do not need to hear to know I am there. My breath is not always a rushing wind. Often it is a gentle breeze over your soul, reminding you that I am alive in you, leading you, renewing you, even when you do not perceive it. The one who is sent is not the flawless one, but the dependent one. You will not always do right or speak well. That very truth makes you real. The world does not need more immaculate images. It needs people who fall and rise again, who weep, and still dare to love, who know their weakness and refuse to quit. Let people see me through your authenticity, not through a polished exterior, but through your perseverance in love. When you admit you are not enough, I become enough in you. When you are honest with yourself, the Holy Spirit will breathe through you like clean morning air, sweeping away the remnants of pride and heaviness, leaving peace as light as dawn. Do not strive to make everything make sense. Some paths are understood only after they are walked. I have not called you to understand, I have called you to step. And as you step, remember I am never farther than a breath. My spirit is not a wild storm, but a quiet heartbeat within you. I do not always speak in thunder, but in pauses. When you sit in your weariness and whisper, Lord, you will feel a small current of life rise in your chest. That is me. That breath will make you live again. The one who is sent does not always see results immediately. You will sow without knowing when the seed will sprout. Speak without knowing who will hear love, without knowing whether that love will be returned. But do not let that slow your steps. Believe that I am working in the parts you cannot see. Seeds need time to break open, and the best things often grow in silence. When you live sincerely, when you give from your heart, you are sowing into the soil of eternity. Perhaps nothing sprouts today, but tomorrow, next month, or years later, someone will stand in the light because of a small act of yours. They may not know your name, but I do. My chosen one, let this journey teach you to slow down, to listen, to trust again. You do not need every answer, only an honest heart. When your heart is pure, the Spirit will guide you into truth. When you do not know what to say, be still and listen. I will place words upon your lips. When you do not know what to do, pray, and I will make the next step clear. Do not chase effectiveness. Choose faithfulness. I do not measure you by outcomes, but by trust. There will be days you grow weary because nothing seems to change. But look again, you are not who you were. The greatest transformation is not in the world around you, but within you. See how you've learned to wait without complaining, to love without demanding, to pray without needing to feel, and to believe without seeing. That is the maturity of faith, the mark of a soul led by my Spirit. You no longer chase miracles, for you are the miracle, a soul still standing in love while the world crumbles. When I breathe into you, it is not for you to hold that breath, but to release it. You need not preach with eloquence, simply live with grace. Let your words be gentle, truthful, free of judgment. Let your eyes show empathy, your hands lift others, your heart listens. People will see me through your life. When they ask how you remain at peace, while the world trembles, tell them it is because you know who reigns. When they ask why you still believe, say, it is because you were lost and found. When they ask why you still love, say, it is because you were loved first. Do not aim to speak beautifully, speak truthfully. Truth has its own echo. As you walk with my spirit, your rhythm will change. You will pause in the midst of busy days just to breathe and whisper, "Thank you, Lord." You will forgive before being asked. You will see others through mercy's eyes instead of the memory of pain. You will find joy, even in hardship, knowing no suffering is wasted in my hands. All these are signs that my breath is alive in you. Do not fear slow steps. Do not fear the loss of passion. Faith is not a blazing flame, but a steady ember that never dies. I do not look for perfection. I look for endurance. I do not demand constant smiles. I ask that you not let go. When all you can do is breathe, breathe with me. When all you can do is whisper, whisper my name. For one honest breath is enough to bridge heaven and earth. The one who is sent never walks alone. Though unseen, you are surrounded by prayers, by angels, by the gaze of eternity watching with delight. I know you sometimes feel lonely, but you are never alone. Every time you choose what is right, though no one sees, heaven rejoices. Every time you forgive, instead of retaliate, invisible chains fall. Every time you love despite pain, light pierces another corner of darkness. And all of this makes me proud of you. So my child, keep walking. No need to hurry. Keep living, loving, praying, believing. The Spirit will not abandon you, for I have never abandoned anyone who dared to walk for my name's sake. At the end of the day, if your heart finds even a moment of peace, know I am there. When you realize you have forgiven someone you thought you never could know, I have passed by. When you awaken and still want to believe, know my Spirit's breath is still blowing within you. In time you will discover your footsteps, and my breath are no longer separate. You will no longer know who leads and who follows, for we are walking together. You will live without striving to get it right, for things will simply be right when I am at the center. Then your calling will no longer feel like duty but delight. Not a burden but a current of life, not pressure but freedom. This is what I want you to understand. To be sent does not mean to depart, it means to dwell more deeply in love. Not to go work for me, but to live with me. Not to prove, but to reveal. When the breath of the Spirit moves in rhythm with your heartbeat, you will know you are exactly where you belong. Not because all is easy, but because through it all, you can still hear my whisper, keep walking, I am here. The world today has too many voices, yet too few hearts that truly listen. It overflows with knowledge, but runs dry in compassion. It carries religion, but lacks mercy. You do not need more debaters. I need those who know when to be silent, not the silence of fear, but the stillness that lets love speak most clearly through presence, through the gentleness of an eye, through staying instead of leaving. Do not be afraid of being seen as weak, for those who dare to love in these times are the truest warriors. They need no sword, only a heart that can still feel. The fields are golden and ready, but the workers are few, not because I lack people, but because many fear to feel. To feel is to ache, and to ache is to tire. But my child, only those who dare to feel can truly love, and only those who love deeply can reflect my image within them. Mercy is a warm flame. It does not burn, it heals. It does not judge, it illuminates. It does not force heads to bow, but helps faces lift again. Let yourself become that flame, not bright for show, but steady and real. It need not flare up, it only needs to keep burning. You may feel small amid the vast field, your work like a grain of sand in the desert. But I did not call you to finish everything. I called you to do your part. No one can harvest the entire field, but if each one tends their row, no corner will be left untouched. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every tear you shed is part of the harvest. You may never see all that your love has done, but I see. I know. I remember. Nothing done in love is ever small in my eyes. Sometimes you will give, and no one will notice help, and no one will thank you love, and no one will return it. Yet believe this, I am writing each moment into the journal of eternity. What is done in silence echoes the longest. I do not need you to impress. I need you to remain faithful. When you do what is right, in unseen places, all of heaven moves, because wherever truth is lived, the kingdom opens. As you walk through these fields, there will be times you feel spent. You'll ask, when will it be done? When will I see the fruit? But know this, you do not harvest alone. Others are laboring in places you cannot see. There are prayers you've never heard that are lifting you up, and tears from others mixing with yours to water the same soil. When the time comes, those tears will turn into songs of joy. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Psalm 1265. My child, mercy is not only what you give, it is what you receive. Do not forget to be merciful with yourself. Do not be harsh toward your own unfinished places. I never loved you because you were perfect. I love you because you are mine. When you are weary, stop and let me love you. When you are weak, let me lift you. When you feel empty, let me fill you. Mercy never flows in one direction. It goes out and returns. It pours forth and replenishes. The more you give, the more you will be filled. One day you will stand in the midst of a radiant field, the wind brushing your hair, sunlight touching your face, and you will realize every promise I made has come true, not through thunder, but through the quiet breath of fulfillment. You will look back on what once felt wasted and see that not a single moment was meaningless. Every waiting had a purpose. Every wound became a window for light. Every fall became proof of my faithfulness. Do not stop now. The field still stands, and I am still calling, not with the weight of command, but with the tenderness of love. The call is soft, yet deep, gentle, yet impossible to ignore. It whispers, keep going. There are still hearts I want you to reach. Do not fear your insufficiency. I do not seek the capable, I seek the willing. Do not fear exhaustion, for I am your strength. Do not fear loss, for whatever you surrender, in love will return to you as true joy. Go, my beloved. Walk among the golden fields with a tender heart and open hands. Carry mercy like breath. Let people see me in your eyes. Be a place where others feel safe to come home. Do not strive to do great things, just live truthfully. In that truth I will do the extraordinary. And when the sun sets over the field, when the day's labor is done, you will hear me whisper, thank you, my child. You have loved with all your heart, and that is what I have always desired. My dear one, there will come a morning when dawn brushes gently against the earth, and you will realize that nothing truly shattered was ever lost. It was transformed into light. What you thought was lost was the soil being turned so that seeds of life could rise. What you thought was the end was the beginning of a new season, a harvest of joy, a time when your heart will no longer wander or resent, but sing again the song of peace. The harvest does not come with noise or spectacle. It arrives on the quiet breath of the Spirit, in the soft light of early morning in the deep, knowing that nothing has been in vain. You once believed joy was a result, something that follows success. But I tell you, true joy is not a reward, it is the fruit of faithfulness. It blooms from the soil once barren, watered by tears, hidden in silence, softened by trust. Every time you refused to give up, a flower opened. Every time you chose love over bitterness, another bloomed. And now your soul's field is golden, not with perfection, but with truth. The truth that you never let go, even when no one saw. My child, I know you have walked through seasons so silent that even you could not understand why I allowed it to be so still. You knelt, you prayed, and then you sat wordless in tears, wondering if I heard, if I cared. But now you will understand everything I do has its appointed time. I was never late. I was waiting for your seed to sink deep enough to withstand the coming rain. If the rain had fallen too early, it would have washed the seed away. If the sun had scorched too soon, it would have withered. But because I love you, I waited. And now you see what I planted in you has begun to sprout. Your harvest is not only about success, it is about transformation. You have learned to be silent without bitterness, to endure without despair, to love without demand. You have discovered that true victory is not in surpassing others, but in surpassing yourself, overcoming fear, pride, and the hunger for approval. You have learned to live by grace instead of striving. That, my child, is the greatest miracle of all, a soul that lives in grace, unhurried, unmeasured, at rest in my love. I no longer call you a survivor, but an overcomer. For a survivor only makes it through, but an overcomer is transformed. You are not who you once were. The light in your eyes has changed. Your steps are steadier, your words softer yet deeper. You no longer need to prove anything, for your peace itself is proof. Others will look at you and sense something not born of this world. That something is me. This is the season of restoration. I will return to you the years the locusts have eaten, not by bringing back the past, but by giving you a future so full it redeems every loss. I do not recreate the old. I make all things new. I do not merely heal your wounds. I make your scars shine. I do not only return what was taken. I teach you to live unafraid of losing. For you have learned, nothing is lost when it is surrendered into my hands. Now you step into your harvest season, but remember, this is not an ending. It is the beginning of a deeper life, the life of one who carries true joy. This joy does not rely on circumstances. It exists because it was born from the roots of faith. It is the joy of knowing that I am with you, whether in light or shadow, calm or storm. It is the joy of understanding that results do not define you, relationships do. I place upon your head a crown not of gold but of faithfulness. Every jewel on it was formed from unseen choices when you said yes though no one noticed, forgave though no one apologized, prayed though no one believed. It does not sparkle with worldly brilliance, but reflects the eternal light of my kingdom. When angels see it, they know who you are, not by title, but by the imprint of faith. The crown of faithfulness is not for the flawless. It is for those who fell and rose again. Not for the untouchable, but for those honest enough to admit their fear, their weakness, their weariness, and still whisper, I believe you. That crown cannot be stolen or lost, for it is forged from the sacred moments between you and me, the moments no one saw, yet heaven remembers. Now I want you to rejoice not only in the outcome, but in the process. Joy does not come from the destination, but from the knowing that I walk beside you. Rejoice that you can still feel, for feeling means you are alive. Rejoice that you can still love though you've been hurt, for that means darkness has not overcome your light. Rejoice that you can still pray though answers seem silent, for that means faith still breathes in you. This harvest will not be loud. There will be no fireworks, no applause, no crowd. It unfolds in stillness, where your soul realizes it no longer needs proof to believe that I am good. And that stillness is the sweetest music of the harvest, for true joy does not shout, it smiles in peace. Do you remember when you looked at the sky and asked, when will I see the fruit? Now you see it. But what you see is not only what you asked for, it is what you didn't dare ask for: peace. Peace that remains even when the outcome is uncertain. Peace that no longer demands perfection to rest. Peace that looks back and sees every trial as a bridge to deeper trust. Do not think this harvest means you stop. This is the beginning of sowing again. What you have learned, what you have endured, will now become light for others. I did not bless you to keep it, I blessed you to share it. Every scar will become a testimony. Every healed wound an open door for someone else to find me. You were comforted, now comfort others with the comfort you received. When you do, your joy will overflow. For true joy is not in receiving, but in giving. When you see another soul rise because of your patience, you will know your years of endurance were never wasted. When someone smiles again because you stayed, you will know your pain has been redeemed. When someone walks stronger because you prayed, you will realize your harvest has multiplied. Carry your crown in your heart, not for display, but as remembrance of the road you've traveled. Keep this joy not to show off, but to nourish your ordinary days. Live lightly in grace. You no longer need to prove only to be true. You do not need to be strong, only sincere. You do not need to be great, only faithful. For faithfulness in small things is where I reveal great glory. And one day when your earthly harvest is done, when your hands have sown their last seed and your strength has faded, you will hear my voice echo in the quiet. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Then every tear will turn to pearl, every scar will shine, and you will know everything you did in love was worth eternity. There is a joy deeper than every joy, the joy of knowing that nothing can separate you from my love. Not circumstance, not sin, not darkness, not death. I do not love you because you have done right, but because you belong to me. When you sit still in my presence, every longing in your heart begins to be reshaped. You stop chasing what is temporary. Stop seeking what cannot satisfy. Stop striving to find reasons to be loved, for you have found the very source of love in me. You once thought happiness was when everything you wished for came true, but now you know true happiness is when you no longer need those things. When you sit quietly and realize that this very breath is a miracle, that this morning's light is a promise, that your existence today is itself evidence of grace, then you touch true joy. It is not gaudy or showy, but deep and still like a clear river. Such joy frees you from the need for noise, for my silence is enough. You may think you are sitting in stillness, but in truth, all of heaven is moving around you. When a soul chooses to abide in my presence, eternity trembles. For nothing is more precious than a heart that knows how to rest in me. When you no longer run, no longer seek, no longer strive to prove yourself, you are living exactly as I made you. I did not create you for exhaustion. I created you to dwell in me. The joy of presence is not a passing feeling, but the state of a soul that has come home. There, every noise of the world recedes until only my voice resounds. There, fear dissolves, for you do not stand alone. There, you need not strain to be holy, for I myself am the holiness that covers you. When you learn to live in my presence, you will realize there is no boundary between heaven and earth, because heaven begins wherever you allow me to reign. My child, I sought you when you were still running from me. I stood waiting beside you as you wandered down roads of emptiness. I called your name in the night when you felt forgotten. And now as you turn back, I do not reproach you or ask why. I simply open my arms and say, welcome home. For home is not a place, it is where I am. There are souls who spend a lifetime searching for what I placed within them, from the start, my very presence. But you, faithful one, have found it. Not by knowledge, but by trust. Not by argument, but by tears. Not by perfect prayers, but by honest sighs. And this is what sets you apart. You know I am real, not because someone told you, but because you met me in silence. As you live in that presence, you will begin to see everything differently. You will look at others with my eyes, not seeing sin, but the possibility of redemption. Not weakness, but the potential for transformation. Not the past, but the promise. When your heart is full of my presence, you cannot judge, you can only love. For I am in love, and whoever abides in me loves as I do. You will begin to hear the sound of eternity, not with your ears, but with your soul. It is not loud or violent, but like an unseen symphony rising in all things, in the fall of a leaf, in a child's smile, in the glow of evening, in the steady rhythm of your own breathing. When you live in my presence, everything becomes a reminder of me. Nothing is random, nothing trivial. All things bear meaning, for I am within them all. The joy of presence is also the joy of understanding that you do not have to make me love you, for I loved you before you existed. That you do not need to prove anything, for your worth is set by the one who formed you. That you do not have to be enough, for my grace is enough. When you grasp, this fear loosens its grip. You will walk lighter, speak gentler, love more readily, forgive more quickly, and live with deeper gratitude. I have not called you to ceaseless labor. I have called you to be with me. I do not need your busyness and service, if in it you forget me. The gift I desire most is not your work, it is your presence. When you come to me, you need no words, no preparation, no perfection, only honesty, and I am pleased. I do not ask you to come as a servant, but as a child. I do not ask you to bring gifts, I ask you to bring your heart. When you learn this, the joy of presence will open the vision of eternity. You will see that everything you tried to clutch on earth was only a shadow of the real. You will understand why Scripture says that what eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined, awaits those who love me. You will sense the fragrance of that kingdom in every quiet moment you spend in me. Eternity is not merely a place you will go. It is a reality you carry when you live in union with me. Now I no longer call you servant but friend. I share with you what I am doing for you, have remained long enough to understand my heart. You no longer pray as a beggar, but as a companion. You no longer ask why, but say, your will be done. You no longer fear the future, but love each present moment. For when you have me, you have everything. My child, live in that vision, the vision of eternity. Let your heart remember that all things on this earth are temporary, and what I promise is true. Live lightly, for you know where you belong. Love without reserve, for love is the language of forever. Forgive with ease, for forgiveness is the key that opens heaven's gate. Live each day like a song, not needing to be perfect, only to be true. And when the world grows weary and people are confused, be the one who carries that song of peace. Let them look at you and see that true joy is not loud laughter, but the quiet light in the eyes of one who knows they are loved. When you live like this, you are bringing heaven to earth. You are not only one who is saved, you are one who reflects the glory of the Savior. There will come a day when you cross the boundary of time, not in fear but in joy, not in regret but in wholeness. Then you will hear my voice, not strange but familiar, saying, my child, it is time to come home. And you will see that home is not somewhere new at all, but the very place you have lived all along, where I am, where love never changes, where peace never fades, where joy never ends. My child, there is a light the world cannot make, and cannot extinguish the light that shines from souls refined by fire, who still choose to love, to believe, to remain. When the world's darkness thickens, when truth is twisted, when hearts grow cold, it is the chosen, the ones who keep a flame in their hearts through the night, who will shine like stars in the sky. They are not radiant with their own glory, but with the glory of the one who dwells within them. They do not carry light to be seen, but to illuminate, to guide, to remind the world that God is still at work. My child, I chose you not so you would hide forever in your pain, but so that through your very wounds the light would be revealed. The chosen are not those who never fell, but those who were lifted up and no longer live for themselves. You have passed through fire and water, through loneliness and misunderstanding, not to prove anything, but to learn to reflect my glory. Now as the night recedes, and the ground beneath your feet is made new, I say, arise, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Isaiah 6:01. I know you never thought yourself strong enough to be chosen. You imagined the chosen were those without doubt, without fear, without fault. But I tell you the truth, your very weakness gives my grace room to be revealed. Your trembling makes my power complete. In the days when you felt you had nothing left to give, I planted within you something more precious than gold faithfulness, and that faithfulness makes heaven smile, makes darkness tremble, and moves me to call you chosen. You are not chosen for perfection but for willingness, not for strength but for surrender, not for control but for release. The world seeks the capable. I seek those who trust. The world chooses the powerful. I choose the soul that bows. The world praises the glittering. I honor the tears shed in the secret place. For in my kingdom the values are reversed, the weak are lifted, the small are blessed, the silent hear my voice. And now I speak to you, step out, hide your light no longer. The world does not need perfection, it needs truth. It needs those who dare to live honestly before me, who dare to love while afraid, who dare to walk even when they cannot yet see the way. You are chosen to be a living witness that God is still with humankind. When you forgive, though you have reason to resent, the world will see me. When you love, though it is not returned, the world will see me. When you walk in peace, though chaos swirls around you, the world will see me. The chosen are not those who avoid trials, but those who find meaning within them. When you understand that everything that happens is an opportunity for my glory to be revealed, you begin to live beyond human limits. My child, the glory I appoint for you is not an outer radiance, but an inner transformation when your heart becomes like mine. When your heart aches for what grieves me and rejoices in what delights me, when your lips speak words of life, your hands do the work of love, and your feet walk the paths of righteousness, then you are glorified. When you are glorified, no one can deny it. You need no applause, no titles, no crowds, only my gaze upon you, and that is enough. For true glory is not being seen but reflecting. You do not shine by yourself. You reflect the light of the one within you. As the moon has no light of its own, and yet is enough to guide the long night, so it is with you. You shine by my light. There will be those who do not understand you. They will ask why you keep loving after betrayal, why you keep believing after disappointment, why you keep smiling after loss. Let them ask, for the answer lies not in your words but in your very presence. Your presence, gentle, peaceful, steadfast, is proof that I am real. And when others look at you, they will see, not only you, they will see me. My child, do not fear the greatness of what I am doing. When I bestow glory, it is not so you may be exalted, but so that I may be known. Yet in that knowing you are lifted up as well. I do not relinquish my glory, but I share it with those who return it to me, and you are one of them. You pass through fire without being burned through waters, without being swallowed up, not because you were strong, but because I was with you. Now your light will guide those who still walk in the night. Your glory does not lie in position, but in posture. It is not measured by what you achieve, but by how you love, how you serve, how you remain faithful when no one is watching. Every act of love, every truthful word, every time you choose peace over winning, is a beam of light. And when those beams join, the world is illumined. I know at times you fear your own light. You fear being misunderstood, attacked, isolated. But remember, light always exposes darkness. When you shine, truth comes to light, and the shadows tremble. Do not draw back. I did not place a lamp within you to hide it under a basket, but to set it high to give light to the whole house. Stand firm. Do not fear being different, for that very difference is the sign that you belong to another kingdom. The chosen do not live to be praised, but to please me. They do not seek perfection, but presence. They do not ask to escape trials, but for grace to be faithful in them. They do not demand immediate rewards, for they know the true reward is not in this passing life. They understand that every drop of sweat, every sacrifice, every small yes echoes into eternity. And as they walk, heaven moves, for they are bringing my kingdom near. My child, you were chosen from among many, not to be above others, but to love deeper, understand more, endure longer, and forgive faster. You were chosen to be living proof that light is stronger than darkness, that love is greater than hatred, and that grace surpasses every sin. When people look at your life, they will not say how strong that person is, but rather how good God is. And that is the highest glory. Now walk on in holy confidence, not with pride, not with fear, but with the certainty that I am with you. Glory is not a destination, but the state of a soul in harmony with me. When you live truly, love, truly believe, truly and forgive truly, you are already walking in glory. And on the day I return, you will see it with your eyes, but today you already live in it by faith. I speak to you, press forward. The world needs you. They do not need another sermon. They need a heart that reflects me. They do not need arguments. They need real love. They do not need proof. They need presence. And you, O chosen one, are the letter I am sending to this world. Every step you take is a line of grace, every word you speak a stroke of kindness, every embrace you give a declaration that says, "The Lord is still here." And when all is finished, when the world's darkness dissolves, when the trumpet of eternity sounds, you will not enter the realm of light as a stranger, but as one who has lived in it all along. For the glory I promised is not only something you will see, it is something you are carrying now. I will call you by name, place a radiant crown upon your head, and say, "This is my child, the one I love, the one I have chosen, the one who reflects my glory in the midst of the world, my beloved child." When the earth shakes, when the kingdoms of men collapse, when fame and power fade like morning mist, remember there is a kingdom that cannot be shaken. It is not built by human hands, not upheld by force or victory, but founded on righteousness, grace, and love. That kingdom does not arrive with noise, but in stillness, not in palaces, but in the hearts of those who trust me. It bears no earthly shape, yet it is more real than anything your eyes have seen. And you are a citizen of that kingdom. I know you have grown weary watching the world change. What seemed solid now wavers. Systems you once trusted crumble. Suspicion grows, and confidence erodes. You ask, is there anything that cannot be lost? And the answer is yes, there is me, and there is my kingdom. Heaven and earth may pass away, but my word remains. Thrones may change hands, but mine stands forever. When you set your feet within that kingdom, you will know what true safety is. Remember, I have not invited you into a religion, but into a kingdom where life does not wither, where grace does not run dry, where joy is not eclipsed by sorrow. In that kingdom, every tear is wiped away, every sigh becomes a song, every wound becomes a witness to grace. Their time is no chain, for eternity is the ever-present now, with no regret and no fear. You will not ask when or why, for every question will dissolve into light. My child, you need not wait for this body to fade to enter that kingdom. It began in you the moment you yielded to me. As my will is formed in you, that kingdom rises within you. Every time you choose forgiveness over revenge, you extend its borders. Every time you choose love over fear, you lay its foundations. Every time you choose to believe without seeing, you bring a piece of heaven down to earth. The kingdom is not merely a place you will go. It is the truth you carry wherever you are. I have spoken, and my word still echoes. Since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful, and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. Hebrews 1:2-8. This kingdom does not tremble even if the earth cracks open or the skies grow dark. It does not depend on what you see, but on the one who never changes. The world may sway, yet your soul stands firm, for your roots are anchored in me. When you live in this truth, you will find yourself free from all fear, fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. All these fade away when you know you belong to something greater, eternal, and true. You are no longer bound by what passes away. You no longer live to please others or strive to prove your worth, for you know you have been sealed by the everlasting kingdom. In this kingdom, everything bears eternal weight. A word of love you speak does not vanish, it continues to echo through time. A single act of kindness becomes a beam of light in heaven's memory. A quiet prayer whispered in the night is not forgotten. It becomes a drop of rain falling upon the barren ground of the world. Nothing is wasted. Nothing passes without leaving its trace in eternity. When you begin to live with that awareness, you will understand that all things are sacred: your work, your words, your gaze, your breath. There is no boundary between sacred and ordinary, for everything done with a heart of reverence belongs to me. When you prepare a meal in love, you are serving me. When you comfort someone with a gentle word, you are worshiping me. When you forgive the one who wronged you, you are glorifying my name. The kingdom is not distant. It is expanding through these quiet acts. O chosen one, this kingdom cannot be destroyed, for it is not built of matter but of spirit. It is not confined by time nor governed by borders. It cannot be drawn on any map, for it dwells in the hearts of those who are mine. And when those hearts unite, the light of the kingdom radiates and darkness cannot overcome it. The world may mock, but the kingdom advances. It does not come through war, but through love. Not through shouting, but through silent transformation. Not through power, but through service. My child, I did not call you merely to be saved, but to reign with me. You are not merely a survivor, you are an heir. I have given you citizenship in the kingdom that never perishes. And that citizenship is not a title. It is a calling live, as one who belongs to eternity, even within the temporary. Speak as a child of light. Love as one who has been forgiven. Walk as one who cannot be lost. When you live this way, darkness will lose its grip on you. I know there are times you grow weary, seeing the chaos of the world, thinking your efforts are in vain. But I tell you, my kingdom is growing quietly. It is not announced in headlines, but built through hearts that serve. It is not constructed by powerful hands, but by humble ones. It is not guarded by walls, but by prayers. And a day will come when all the kingdoms of man dissolve, and mine will be revealed in glory, and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. The joy of eternity begins the moment you believe this world is not the end. When you know suffering is temporary, you will not despair. When you understand that greater things are coming, you will not lose heart. When you believe in a world with no more tears, you will learn to live with gratitude even in the storm. True joy cannot be stolen by circumstance, for it does not come from circumstance. It flows from the certainty that I still reign and I will never fail. The joy of eternity is not laughter but steadfastness, not excitement but wholeness, not a fleeting moment but a lasting state of the soul united with me. When you live in that joy, comparison fades, competition ends, the need to prove yourself disappears, for you already possess everything. You will see others not as rivals but as brothers and sisters. You will see the weak not to despise but to lift up. You will see the sinner not to condemn but to intercede for you will have learned the language of the kingdom love. Let your heart be fixed on this. Let your eyes look beyond. Remember that what you now endure is only a light and momentary affliction compared to the glory soon to be revealed. One day, when the curtain of time is drawn back and the heavens shake, you will stand in light so radiant that no shadow can remain. You will see me not through faith, but with your eyes. You will hear my voice not through scripture, but directly in your soul. You will feel my love not through signs, but like a wave that engulfs you completely. And then you will know that everything you ever feared, lost, wept over, or endured was worth it. You will see the whole story I have written and cry out, Lord, you are good. No more tears, no more anxiety, no more pain. Only light music and joy unending. You will no longer count the hours, for time will be no more. You will live in fullness where every dream is fulfilled, every promise complete, every soul at rest. O chosen one, I say to you, live today as one who belongs to eternity. Forgive as one who will live forever. Love as one who fears no loss. Believe as one who has already seen. For when you live this way, you make the unshakable kingdom visible upon the earth. And I tell you, the day is near, when every knee shall bow, every tongue confesses that I am Lord. The day when death is swallowed up in victory, when my kingdom covers all creation. Thank you for listening to today's message. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell to receive more words of life to strengthen your faith and to walk daily in the boundless love of Christ. Amen.